Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ilkka Lappalainen, and I'm today presenting the first Love Your Data webinar, which is part of 4 webinars that are coming on 23rd today. Next one is on 28th of 11, which concentrates on discovery on research data. The 30th of November is on discussing different types of storage solutions that we offer for research projects in their different life cycle parts. And the 4th of December is the last one that actually then draws all these together and talks about how you might want to publish your data and share it with the research community. But today we talk about data management and what kind of support CSC offers on that. As we all know, the data is becoming ever so complex, and the data size is increasing every year. So the data management is becoming an issue. And so what does it mean to handle more data on your daily basis in a research project? And what are the good practices managing your research data? Where can you find help and tools for your data management in different phases of your research? Most researchers want to promote good research practice and meet the funder requirements. The FAIR data principles act as an international guideline to facilitate the change towards the improved knowledge creation and sharing. You can use FAIR data principles as guideline to enhance your data to be findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. You can find also more information about the FAIR principles in the link below on the bottom of this slide. And we come to these principles later in this talk. But most importantly, you don't have to be doing all of this on your own. CSC is a Finnish center of expertise that provides ICT expert services at an internationally high level for the research community, education, and culture and public administration. And for research services, we provide the compute platform and the storage solutions and software and databases. We have supercomputer services. We've run a very large cluster that is for multi-purpose use, and we provide the cloud services, all the normal cloud, and also one for the secure management of sensitive data. You can find more information about these on the link at the bottom of this page. But today the talk is focusing on the data management. And this link here on the bottom of the page shows you all these different tools and applications that we run for you. And we touch briefly each one of them as we go along. Good research data management is the basis of successful research. Furthermore, good data management is crucial for facilitating data sharing and ensuring the sustainability and accessibility of data in the long term. Therefore, it can be reused for future research. The overall impact of the research data management is normally seen after a long time. So after it's been produced, curated, maintained, and reused. A lot of data is used and collected during the research process. Keeping track of the whole process is called research data management. The purpose of data management is to ensure the ethical, legal, safe, and efficient use of research materials to avoid any potential risks both during the project and after the research has completed, the project has completed. Good data management maintains the quality and usability of the research materials during and after the research project and increases the probability of the successful funding applications later. Data management plan is a document where you describe what you will do with your research data during and after your research project. Data management plan is a living document and should be updated regularly. In the plan, you outline how research data are collected, how they are used and stored, and how the preservation and reuse are organized after the project has completed. Particular attention should be paid on the guidelines and research requirements and the requirements of the potential fund and research home organization, as well as on the agreements within the research group. And in addition, legislation and research ethics can limit carrying out the research and use of the research materials. CSC recommends duly an application for writing data management plans. You can use this tool when writing a data management plan, applying for funding, and for data management planning in different phases of your research project. There are a number of templates within the tool that represent the requirements of the different funder organizations and institutions, and guidance is provided to help you interpret and answer the questions. The tool is open for all of us, but it requires registration. And you can find more about the tool itself in the link at the left-hand side of this slide. There are also examples of how to create a data management plan and how it looks like. On the left-hand side, you have international examples, and on the right-hand side is the University of Helsinki examples for the plans. Now, this all comes together with a great example, and we chose to give you a SMARE project. This is a project that ultimately aims to understand the climate change, and in order to model the evolution of Earth climate, accurate data and long-term time series are needed. And these SMARE research stations collect and measure the relationship between the atmosphere and the forest in the boreal climate zone. The Open Science Services for the Finnish research system have enabled the management of an opening of thousands of datasets from the HYTLS-MER measurements data. And HYTLS-MER data is the most versatile time series of variety of atmospheric and forest ecosystem data measured in Finland. And these measurements can be accessed through Actin, which is a search service from CSC. Actin enables search of these data on the basis of electronic identifiers, as well as examining the dataset's author, version, and life cycle information. And this information is useful for the researchers since it enables the identification of the data referenced in scientific journals and for identifying which researchers were part of producing these data. And you will hear more about Actin service in our second webinar, What are the tools for discovering research data, on the 28th of November. And research data, EDA, has enabled safe storage for the SMARE research data. EDA is one of these open science services for the Finnish research system, organized by the Ministry of Education and Culture. EDA storage space is project-based, which gives equal access to data for all project members, also across organizational boundaries. EDA enables storage of large volumes of data, which may exceed quarters at local servers. And the data that SMARE has published in Actin is directly downloadable from EDA. In our third webinar, Where Can I Store My Research Data, on the 30th of November, you will hear more about what services are meant for storage and which ones you can use to analyze your data and keeping it safe. Since 2013, researchers have been able to visualize, analyze, and download these data through the Smart SMARE application that was published in Ava portal. Smart SMARE is a data visualization and download tool for the database of continuous atmospheric flux, soil, tree, physiological, and water quality measurements that are collected in the University of Helsinki SMARE research stations. So, in order to use these data to explore global climate issues, it must be discoverable, well documented, and open to further use. Managing the growing amount of these data requires good data management practices from the research groups. In the atmospheric research, many research topics are based on long-term measurement data analysis, where systematic storage of data, high and uniform quality, and transparency of the data processing are particularly important for the usability and reliability of these research results. And so you will hear more about all this in the fourth webinar on the 4th of December. And so this all boils really down to metadata. And in short, the metadata is how you describe your research data results. It makes it more understandable for others to understand what the data is about and use it. And it makes it discoverable. And of course, based on the metadata, we can provide services that make the impact of the result project much more wider than it otherwise might be. Clearly, more know-how about the meta and metadata standards are needed. And for example, Elixir here at CSC is working with the international collaboration to bring metadata standards to describe the genomic data, so that we could describe the genomes of the Finns as a population, or apply those same standards to describe the cancer data from our patients. And in the same way, Elixir works within a different international collaboration to create the standards for describing bioimages. So, in other words, the metadata is as valuable as the data itself, but in some cases, those standards don't exist yet. If you have any questions, or you need training or support, you can always contact us, and the CSC provides already training on metadata issues. So we do have a Love Your Data webinars. There are 3 more to come. The next one in the 28th of November is talking about the data discoverability, how the data sets become more usable and accessible, and focuses on 2 of our discovery services called Actin and the U.B to find. The next one is talking about the storage solutions, and the third one on the 4th of December is talking about sharing your data with the community. You can find more information about this webinar and the upcoming webinars from csc.fi training. All these tools that have been discussed as part of this talk and the following ones are available from the research.csc.fi. And these webinars also come available in our YouTube channel. But at this point, I would like to thank you for your time, and we take more questions.